Hey guys, so in today's video we're going to talk about how to take care of a pet redfoot tortoise. So the redfoot tortoise comes from the tropics of South America, and it can get up to between 10 to 16 inches long. These guys also live to be they can live up to like 50 years or even more. So they're a pet that you're gonna have for a long time. As far as tank size goes, these young ones, they'll need a tank size about 36 by 18 by 16, which is our 40-gallon breeder. That would be the minimum size for a young one like this one. For adults, you actually need, usually they're custom built, an actual enclosure that's actually 6 foot by 3 foot deep. They will definitely need a big enclosure when they reach adult size, closer to that 10 to 16 inches point. So you can see here that we have our adult redfoots in a custom built pen inside of our store. So yeah, definitely once they get big, they will need probably custom built enclosure. So as far as their substrate goes, because these guys come from a tropical habitat, they need a humid environment. So they will need substrate that is pretty absorbent and holds a lot of moisture. So you'll want something like peat moss, coconut fiber, or even tropical mix that we sell here at Tye-Dyed Iguana. So those are all good substrates to use. Now, one thing that you'll need in their tank is a water dish that's deep enough for it to be able to climb in and fit its whole body in to soak. These guys, they like to soak in the water, so it needs to be big enough where you can kind of fill it so they can reach up to 1/3 the way up their shell. So, and you also got to make sure that they can enter and exit it easily. You don't want them to get stuck in there. As far as their temperature goes, these guys need an ambient temperature of between 75 to 80 degrees, and then they'll also need a hot spot where they can bask from 90 to 95 degrees. Because these guys are a diurnal species, you will need a separate bulb for their UVB. So you will need, so you'll end up with either 2 bulbs, the UVB and the heat bulb, or you can use a mercury vapor bulb that has both heat and UVB. So that's kind of cool too. Yes. So as far as their diet goes, these guys will eat vegetables and fruit and some types of protein. As far as their vegetables go, you can feed them dark leafy greens like we feed turnip greens. You can also feed collard greens or mustard greens. As far as fruit goes, you don't want to feed too much fruit because then they can get mouth rot. So just occasional snacks of fruit, yes. And as far as sources of protein for these guys, they can eat mealworms, earthworms, crickets, but just make sure to give them in small amounts because that's not the major part of their diet. Major part of their diet will be the greens. And one important thing to remember for the greens, never give these guys lettuce. It has no nutritional value whatsoever. All it has is water and cellulose, and that is it. It will not give them any type of nutrition. Stick with the dark leafy greens. So these guys, they will get calcium dusted on their greens whenever you do feed them. And you should also make sure that their food gets dusted with vitamins about once a week. So that kind of makes sure they get the vitamins they need without overdoing it. So their daily care is pretty easy. What we do here at the store is we take their water dish out, we dump out the old water, we also rinse the dish and scrub it down with a little sponge or something to get all that stuff, the little algae that grows on the bottom of the dish off. And then we just put it back in their tank and give them fresh water. And other than that, we just scoop the poop daily, check for poop. So another thing we do daily is we spray the substrate down with water, and that keeps it nice and hydrated all day for them. And then other than that, all you gotta do is give them fresh greens, take out old food and stuff, and yeah, that's basically it. So one of the best things about the Redfoot Tortoise, we noticed that they have an awesome personality. They love to interact with people usually, and they're usually very curious, and they love being pet, and they'll always be out of the shell. They're not ones that usually hide in the shell all the time, so they're definitely a great pet to get.